Very warm welcome to this year's virtual Sapphire Now event and the Swiss keynote. My name is Michael Ochoa and I'm the Managing Director of SAP Switzerland. Change has always been part of our business, but today's environment forces us to deal with change, both good and bad, faster than ever before. New technologies are changing how we live and work, and COVID-19, climate change, and geopolitical tensions are exposing how fragile our world is. Only companies that can adapt quickly will thrive. Especially in the course of the corona pandemic, many companies suddenly had to go to new disruption channels. For example, with an online shop or sustainable supply chains. In this situation, you cannot afford a 2-year project, such as a shop has to be up and running in the shortest possible time, in 2 months or even in 2 weeks. An on-premise solution simply cannot offer that. Sooner or later, the path to the cloud is inevitable. We would now like to accompany our customers on this path and shape the transformation and innovation together to help them become an intelligent enterprise. In this chart, you can see a Gartner study which shows that C-levels want to focus on when it comes to digital business. 7 in 10 board of directors have accelerated digital initiatives in the wake of COVID-19 disruption. They want to focus on improving operational excellence, on cost optimization, but still do want to invest. If we look at this a bit more in detail, you will see that most of these priorities have a direct link to our vision of the intelligent enterprise, and SAP is more than ever a partner for our clients to run like never before. So what's in the package SAP offers? What you have seen is that we have the Intelligence Suite as the core of our business as of today. In addition to that, we do have the Industry Cloud solutions. The Industry Cloud is for 15 selected industries where you have the modifications which are important to run for your businesses. That could be provided by SAP partners, system integrators, or with SAP. The main intent is that this is on SAP technology. Recently, we announced an acquisition, which is Signavio. This is coming to the business process intelligence, which is now sitting at the core and the heart of our solution, because knowing your business processes, there is where innovation could be in for you. Especially if you are on a move and a journey to S4, this is where you gain most efficiency out of the business process intelligence. More than that, we have the BTP, the Business Transformation Platform, where you can modify from a business perspective what you do need to run your business most efficient with modifications which are not sitting in the core. So to say, you use in standard your Intelligence Suite, which is the intelligent enterprise, and then you have the modifications in the business, in the BTP, in the Business Transformation Platform. So this is what you can run as of today in the recent announcement with RISE SAP on a hyperscaling infrastructure, which is a pure cloud component with a single SAP contract. So looking at this deeper, now the question is, how does this look like at a customer of SAP? And I'm very happy that I can introduce my first guest today. He's the CEO of one of our Swiss customers, a company that you wouldn't necessarily expect to be the typical SAP customer, a startup that was founded in 2018 and has built its entire business model on the SAP Cloud. Let's roll the video. And now I'm pleased to welcome Max Müller, CEO of Swiss-based Daimani. Welcome, Max.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you here. So, talking about the COVID crisis, talking about your business models in a few minutes. So, we know each other since a while. So, what was the main intent that you go for SAP as you had to take the decision back in 2018?
When we founded Daimani, of course, we were looking for a global technology partner who bring us very quickly globally online and live. So we had 9 months time, 9 months to make a global launch. So for us it was key, it has to be in the cloud. Things like security, count updates, etc. was something for us, it has to be, this is something we didn't want to worry about. This was the first thing. With SAP we have experienced that they have been quite new in this experience application area. There were others like, for example, give you Salesforce, which have been there much longer, but their technology was already much older, I would say. And when we saw what SAP wants to do in this area, we wanted to go with SAP. The second thing was, or the third thing was, in the end, we need to connect with a very fragmented industry, which we're using very fragmented technology systems. So we need to connect to venues, to rights holders, to ticketing systems, etc. So our system needed to connect to the outside world. So in the SAP Cloud solution, it was a solution where we could achieve this. And last but not least, SAP committed to us to going live within 9 months. And like it's a FIFA World Cup final, it's at 1 day. You need to go live. There's no way for a delay or something like this. And SAP committed to achieve this together with us.
Yes, Max, and you said it. It's about your business model is very special as well. So at Daimani, you started with a new event platform. I think we should elaborate a little bit on that one, because starting all that up in the cloud, as you said, in such a short time frame, what does your business look like? What is so special about it?
Our business is about what you have seen in the video, something what we all missed, at least me, and I think many I know, to be at live events, at live sports and cultures events. And there we are responsible to selling and servicing for our partners, the events itself, for the best events in this world, the VIP tickets. Corporate hospitality or gold tickets are other names for this. So basically everything which comes on top of a ticket when you're attending a sport event. And we are still the only global platform which basically promoting and selling and servicing these events.
Which is a very interesting business model, to be honest. And also coming to events, COVID-19, 1.5 years back, I mean, it hits ourselves as well, running the SAP now in Basel, and from one day to the other in a virtual environment. So for you, where it's essential that you have the customer experience with online events. So what changed dramatically from day one to the other within your business model with COVID-19?
So what we have experienced now, where it comes fortunately at the end of the pandemic, I think what we saw that there is so much more trust in online business as before COVID. We see it, for example, we have transactions over 50, 60,000 per transaction, so very luxury expenditures, where normally there was still a phone call, a paper or something was involved. Now the customer seems to have, because there was no other way the last 14 months to procure even luxury products, just to go online. This helps, of course, our business model. The second thing is, of course, what we are doing now. We want to enrich much more in, we call it the so-called connected services when you're going to an event. Like it is not only the plane when you go to the event, the bus, or you have the restaurant before, the hotel room you choose. So basically everything in this one or weekend or 1 week, you're staying at this destination where the event is taking, that you basically buy everything out of one source.
So again, for this seamless, I will say it's all about customer experience, right?
Yes.
For this seamlessly customer experience you provide with your platform, why have you chosen SAP at the end of the day, after the fact that we can go live for sure, but also looking at the solutions you have within your SAP stack? So what was 1 or 2 of the main reasons to go for a cloud solution with SAP?
First, of course, we are not the first platform in this world. So there have been other platforms before, so we don't need to reinvent the wheel real. We only need to have very, let's say, 10-15% very industry or let's say our product specific enhancements or new developments. So rest to be a global platform, to be really active in over 190 countries. Others did this before as a SAP customer. So we really could leverage from this global super technology. We always say Ferrari, we are driving this great car, and our special things we had to be built on top with the customization. Customization and cloud for us was no controversy. We have a lot of customization. For us, it's 15%, and the cloud is standard functionality where we don't need to reinvent again.
So that means you can really concentrate and focus on your business. You build it up from scratch. That means that you have to be there from one day to the other to earn money, to sell your packages and so forth. So also talking about other solutions you had to integrate for sure, which are not only mainly your systems, I think. Does it work with integrating it in your cloud with SAP?
Yes, and because for us, as we are a young company, it was clear the other, like the events, which are great, and we talk about the Australian Open, Wimbledon, Formula One, they will not adapt their systems to us. We need to adapt ourselves to their system. So we need to basically have, in the business technology platform, we have built an API framework that we can easily integrate internally and externally with everybody. It was from the beginning, even on the white paper, a key requirement we had to do, and it works in the cloud very smooth. And I would say it even only works because we are so in the cloud. If I can imagine we are on premises in some servers globally, like for example in China. In China we are together with you, SAP as well in the cloud. I can't somehow imagine myself to have an on-premises in China and connect to an event in China. It seems for me something even much more challenging as we're doing now together with you.
Good that you raised the challenge point, right? So first of all, to make it more tangible, you're running S/4HANA Cloud, you have SAP Concur, you have the SAC, the Analytics Cloud platform. You are running everything in the cloud from SAP. So talking about challenges from a technology perspective, what have been the biggest challenges for you as Daimani from a technology point of view? And later, I would be interested also to understand from a business model point of view. But first of all, let's tackle the technical solution.
They are quite equal, these challenges. It was as well as this global rollout in 9 months. I think to go globally live with application suite and with the technology was challenging, of course, not only from the technologies, from the integrations, as well from the team members. From our side, we have 8 little offices all over the globe. SAP teams have been spread all over the globe. Great teams for every SAP stream. This was a key challenge. And the same applied for the business in the end. To start everywhere a little bit is more than just in one country. But our market is not so big that we could only start, for example, in Switzerland or in Germany or in UK. Our market is a global market. So if you are a UK bank, you procure packages in Australia, in America, and as well in Switzerland, for example. So we needed to have this global rollout, and this was, yes, the main challenge.
So in coming to the challenges in let's say it's not after the COVID-19 pandemic, but you see light at the end of the tunnel, as you told me. And also events are catching up. People want to go on site, right? And this is also where you have found some data, which was very interesting to me, that you are also offering now different packages to your customers, right?
Yes, no, we're offering now packages which are all-inclusive more. I think we all as well feel now that with technology we can give, let's say, be better to the environment. Our business events are not climate neutral, unfortunately. No, our things, we want to things making better. With the data we are getting out of sales and behavior data from the customers, we can help the events to plan the operational more climate neutral, or for example avoid food waste, etc. So we can, with technology now, in the next years, helping to get the events better in this kind of way as well.
So very interesting, Max. That's perfect. The insights from a business perspective, from an IT perspective, also very specific how you run your business, and sustainability for sure is on top of mind. I think I have for 1 hour more ideas what we can talk about, because it's also SAP's idea to to shorten the CO2, the carbon footprint. Thank you for having you here. It was great to have that story. Thank you, Max.
Thank you
and
very
all the
much.
best for going forward.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank
See you
you.
soon. Yeah. Thank you.
See you soon. So, as you just heard from Max, Daimani started their business 100% directly in the cloud from scratch. And we don't have only startups as customers who can start on a greenfield, but also other companies with a big legacy that we want to take with us on the journey to the cloud, support their transformation on the way into the cloud. This is something we should look like in the next couple of minutes. So what exactly does this look like? And how can we also implement the intelligent enterprise for existing customers similar than Daimani did it? And I have invited a second guest to answer these questions and go to a little bit more detail and explain us how we can start that journey. And therefore, we have René Fitter, the CTO of SAP Switzerland, with us. Welcome, René, and the stage is yours.
Thank you, Michael. And what I would like to do in the remaining part of the presentation is to actually give you a bit more deeper insight. When we look at companies with a longer heritage and history, as Michael was just pointing out, such transformations typically come at much higher complexity, and companies are challenged to build bridges between what I would call the old world and the existing business and their digital future. So looking at the transformation, how you can match this against all the processes that are already established is one key aspect of the key investment also that SAP did around business process intelligence. Because obviously, if you want to transform, you must approach it holistically. You need to take your core assets, your people, your data, your systems, the way you run your processes along, and that's what business process intelligence is all about. So I would like to take you on a little deep dive to help you how you can tap in those assets, the data, the insights, and all those best practices you have built up over years and in parts even decades of using SAP. So how can you take all the intelligence that comes delivered with S/4HANA and match it against your specifics and also build on top of your legacy? So let me give you a first-hand glimpse on BPI, which will become generally available in Q3 of this year. And let me do that on a little demo that I have prepared for you. So let's for a moment imagine I'm the process owner of order to cash. And obviously my mandate is to improve liquidity by reducing day sales outstanding. As you can see here in this screen, at the top we see top value drivers which are important in finance. I can get an overview of process-related performance indicators and even industry benchmarks as you see highlighted there. And also to get a more concrete feeling of how my company is performing, I have the possibility to analyze much greater details by looking, for example, at the respective process flow in much more detail. When I do that, I start with a set of business documents that run through this process. In our case, that's around 5,000 sales billing documents created back in November 2020 and onwards. And I can then track these business documents through the process. On the upper part of the process flow visualization, you can see how many business documents have reached a specific phase of the business process and the related lead times. So I can actually really track the progress and also on the lower section then see contextual information related to the selected sales billing documents. So all numbers in these phases, as well as in the contextual information, they relate to this initial set of business documents, and they are by design consistent. It's a big advantage compared to any kind of classical reporting where we need to take different data sources at various points in time and to blend them up. And on this basis, we can actually even go one step deeper and look at the flow insights to discover different challenges that we have in the process. And an important aspect here when I go deeper to see how good or bad the automation rate is across different company codes, I can even, through root cause analysis capabilities of SAP Process Insights, really find out where the problems are. And I can see, for example, that some countries have a better automation rate than others. And for the low-performing countries, I want to find a suitable back-end automation solution. Because I know that due to legal reasons, for example, in China, we require a different approach than Czech, Italy, or Norway, like those countries that perform really efficiently. So there, let's see what recommendations we can offer to improve the automation rates within those regions. I can then use behavior mining to really understand how users are interacting with the system. I can see that users use different ways to create sales invoices. And wouldn't it be great if these manual steps could be supported by a bot? Not only it would be quicker, but it would actually also enforce using the most efficient way to create a sales invoice. And that's what I can directly do in there. I think that's an important aspect. It's not just about creating insights. It actually is an action engine that's directly embedded into the system and then allows me to actually automate together with the RPE studio and our IT specialists, those problems in order to become more efficient. And using those tools is already reality. Signavio has already worked with SAP in the past as a process intelligence provider. And one great example, again, here out of Switzerland that we're really proud of is the case of Endresen-Hauser. With one Endresen-Hauser, it's all about aligning employees, brands, corporate structures, ERP and process management, as well as the entire IT landscape. So as you can see from the quote of the CEO, Endresen-Hauser really wants to take their systems and their process to the next level and really empower their employees to take a 360 view on the organization and gain full control over processes. That's how we enable intelligence, and that's how we can really connect business processes with new technologies such as RPA and machine learning. And I think what's important is that once you have those insights, that's where actually the business technology platform that we all heard about comes to play. Because obviously innovating and digitizing your business is more than ERP, it's more than best practice. It's also a platform that you need in order to innovate on top. And again, here in Switzerland, I think we have come a long way in the last 2 years, not just about the technology, but actually also about helping our customers adopt the changes and also adopt the new ways of working with this technology. We hear a lot about agile, but I think what's important really is that we establish new ways of working together between business and IT, and actually new ways of solving real problems. So even during COVID, and you see the reloaded stamp in here, we virtualized our offering, and even during COVID, we helped many of our clients to handle some of the most pressing challenges at hand. And as a last bit of information, I just want to share with you one example that's really close to my heart. Because if we look at the pandemic and the impact that we had, even in Switzerland and most concretely here in Zurich where we present today, a lot of people suffered heavily from those changes. You have different industries, different businesses that had come to a full stop. And obviously public sector needed to react to that. So what you see here is that together with the Canton of Zurich, around the subsidies that were paid out to employees who were in short-time labor, who actually needed to have compensation for not being allowed to make their normal income, together with the Canton of Zurich, we actually realized a solution to bear with the enormous load of applications that came to the public organizations. And interestingly enough, with the cloud, we actually managed to solve this problem together with our client in as little as 2 weeks. So from the original impact in April 2020, back when the lockdown hit us, to actually establishing a solution that's 100% automated, that reduces the effort, I would even think above 85%. It takes the processing effort for humans all the way down from 25 minutes, all the way down to 30 seconds. And therefore, within less than a month, not just realized the return on investment for the Canton of Zurich, but obviously made sure that the payments went out to the people out in the public in due time and made sure that they didn't need to suffer beyond COVID also from financial problems. I hope with that I could show you a couple of interesting examples that make sure that SAP is not just here to run your back office, to keep the engine running, but with Business Technology Platform, obviously open the value of SAP data processes to a broader audience with enterprise quality and higher adoption. And with that, probably I'll hand back to you, Michael, to wrap it up.
Thank you, Remy. We know every SAP customer is at a different point now and has a unique path forward. Digitally grown-ups grown startups and other innovators have already moved to the cloud. Companies with a longer heritage and a history are facing complex and often highly customized on-premise system architectures. The point is, there is not a singular path forward, but every business is moving forward. You need to work more agile, more intelligently, and more efficiently than ever before. And doing so takes more than just a technical migration to the cloud. As our CEO, Christian Klein, said in his keynote, no business does business alone. You need a reliable business partner to innovate together and to take the next step with RISE with SAP. SAP is a trusted partner for businesses across all industries worldwide and the enterprise software leader. Today, more than ever, we are committed to your success. So approach your account teams. The closer we work together, the more you can leverage this opportunity. Thank you very much and have a great Sapphire Now experience 2021.